Why don't you worry about you and your legal affairs, about you and if you're able to pass a drug test.
You weren't there to hear this?
Can you calm down?
No, you calm down because you weren't there.
So if you can shut up for you
No,
can hear.
what you gonna do about it?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sari Sampi and let's talk about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. So it starts with Kandi. Kandi is going back home to Atlanta because she has stuff to do. You know, she is booked and busy and she has a show in Atlanta. She's leaving the trip early. On the other side, we see Monyetta and Kenya, they're catching up. Apparently, a lot of things happened. When Kenya left, Monyetta was with the rest of the ladies. And of course, the discussion about did Drew really kiss Latoya or not came out. And Monyetta is telling Kenya that apparently Marlo sent Latoya the video that she recorded of Drew saying that Latoya basically is a liar, that they didn't kiss and stuff like that. Thing is that apparently Latoya changed her mind. Latoya initially said that she did kiss Drew, but now she's saying she did not. And Kenya thinks that they're not really smart here.
I wouldn't say she was smart because it is video evidence of her admitting that she kissed Drew.
I agree with Kenya, obviously, but I also want to remind you of the fact that those ladies have nothing going on, that they need to go back to old drama. They need to revive old drama, and it's just really, really sad. They're talking about how Kenzie has been apparently making phone calls to everybody here.
3 Marlo, 4 Shamia.
Right. I'm not gonna tell you did something and you did.
I think that for them it has to be a game because in everyday life, if Drew saying she didn't kiss Latoya even though Candy saw Latoya and them kissing, maybe it's because she's embarrassed. As a married person, she doesn't like the optics. So her saying that, I felt like why is Candy not able to take a step back and kind of just let it go? But she's not doing that. I also put myself in her shoes. Nobody wants to be called a liar when they know what they saw, but at the same time, it is so obvious that Drew is lying that I felt that Kenty doesn't have to do all of that. I feel like sometimes they're all too much into this whole situation that's going on. And it reminded me of what Nini said. I watched her interview with Carlos King. Like, those ladies are too focused on stuff that don't make no sense. I just feel like in real life, Kenzie, you saw what you saw. There's no need to do all that. We believe you. Kenya is saying here that she doesn't understand why Drew is upset.
I still don't understand why Drew was so upset about whether or not she kissed Latoya.
Maybe because she knows it doesn't look good. She already is in a difficult marriage and she doesn't want to make it harder. Like, is it that hard for those ladies to understand that Drew might be embarrassed? Or are they just, again, just acting for the camera? Let me know what you think in the comment. Then we have Marlo and Sanya, and they're talking about how Marlo sent the video to Latoya, and she know that Drew is going to be pissed off. But Marlo is playing the game. They're playing the reality TV show game and stuff. And all I can say is that y'all are doing all that, and it's still boring. So all the ladies are getting ready for the next excursion, and we have Sheree and Drew who are catching up. Of course, Drew, she had took the time to like get herself together to tackle a new day, and they talk again about what happened the previous night. This is old season drama, and y'all bringing it back because y'all have nothing else, and it's just sad. On their way to the excursion, Monyetta is showcasing her rapping skill. I don't think she did too bad, but I would say I'd prefer to see her dance. But yeah. They get to the excursion, which is a sound bath. Sherry is still trying to sell us the BS that she needs to do like natural stuff. Girl, it's just a trip. I don't think the sound bath is gonna do much for your fibroids. I'm not being mean, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm just being real. But yeah, they're doing the sound bath, and when they're done with that, it seems that Kenya is crying. The whole experience took her places, and Sheree is trying to have a moment with her and have her to talk and share. And Kenya is like, I don't feel like talking about it. And I was like, yeah, that's how you do it. When you don't want to talk about something, you say it that way. I don't want to talk about it. Please move on. Let's not talk about this anymore. That's the way. And the lady, she asked Kenya, and Kenya opened up and told her that she was thinking about her daughter and everything. Kenya had some very hard time, and we see the love that she has for her daughter. I mean, she's probably upset about a lot of stuff that she's going through, probably the divorce that she's going through too. Yeah, sometimes you had those moments. I feel like during that sound bath, you're either gonna think too much or you're gonna sleep, like Marlo said that she was sleeping. So yeah, I got her in her feelings. So then from there, the same people from the sound bath actually cooked for them and gave them, like, it looks like authentic Portuguese food. Ladies are sitting down, and then the back and forth starts between Drew and Marlo.
I'm trying to figure out why you inserted yourself.
Shade, fun shade. No,
Secretly, now
I
that's
was
a
not
snake.
secretly. I was like this.
Understand this, and I'm gonna say this right now. Don't you
Shake the
ever
table,
record
bitch.
me.
Look at
I will
Michelle.
flip the table on you, bitch. Don't try me.
So Drew does not appreciate Marlo sending video of her. Sanya does bring up the fact that Monyetta also recorded her. Apparently, a lot of them were recording. So they're wondering, why is it okay for Monyetta to record but not for Marlo? And I mean, I guess the difference is that Marlo is recording it to send it to people and doesn't have good intention, while on the other side she feels like Monietta's intention might be good, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that Marlo needed to do all that, but Marlo loves a drama where she is not involved, and she's trying to like drag a situation that has no place. And then it went to the war, Courtney against Kenya.
You weren't there to hear this?
Can you calm down?
No, you calm down because you weren't there.
So if you can shut up for you
No,
can hear.
what you gonna do about it?
I'm not gonna fight you. You want me to fight you? You want me to put some boxing gloves on and fight you? Girl, shut up.
You
Understand Courtney is working really hard, right? She's having conflict, trying to go back and forth with Kenya, but I just think that there's something about her that's just too thirsty and not nice. Talking about you fell, you went to the hospital, like
learn from karma.
I am the
No,
moment.
you aren't. You are the moment of ass busting because of your up funky energy.
what the hell? What fight? What problem do you have with Kenya that you feel so comfortable about her being at the hospital? Like, I don't know, like those new girls, I just look at them sideways and I'm like, that Courtney ladies, she old as hell. Like, it's giving 12-year old, literally. And I know when I was 12, I would not have made fun of somebody that went to the hospital because they fell and the fall could have been really bad. Like, I know you're working hard, Courtney, and I feel like sometimes you're helping, but sometimes I feel like she's doing too much. It's like, what did Kenya do to you? And then it's like, you're doing all of this because at the end of the day, you want to sit next to her. You know what I mean? Like, listen, the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast is a boring one, but at the end of the day, Kenya still owed that candle. She still is the bee, like compared to all those other lady. So when it comes to the show, of course. But yeah, that whole back and forth, she's didn't like it. Love the way Kenya approached Courtney. She approached her like she's an ant that is not valuable. I do agree with Courtney though that Kenya is talking for Monyetta when she wasn't there herself. I would have wanted Monyetta to be a little bit more vocal, because when Monyetta is with those older ladies and they obviously are trying to like have her side with them, she's comfortable, she's kicking, she's doing all that. But then when Kenya and Kandi comes in, she's very quiet to the point that Kenya feels like she needs to talk for her. Because I feel like if Monyetta was more talkative, maybe Kenya wouldn't have to do all this work. I do agree with Courtney that at the end of the day, Kenya shouldn't speak about things that she wasn't there to see. Then we have Drew and Courtney talking, and Drew is talking about their family and stuff, and I'm like, this ain't gonna last long. And I'm not saying like they're not gonna be family for long, but what I'm trying to say is that they have different alliances. Courtney clearly decided to be on and them side, which is obvious because she literally came into the show attacking Kandi, who is friend with Kenya and Drew. So of course Marlo was gonna love her for that, right? So they are in two different alliances, which is why I don't see that whatever they got going on last for too long. That family thing is not gonna last long, in my opinion, because they just have different alliances. So all that back and forth that they had, they go for dinner and more back and forth between Marlo and Drew, because I can see that Drew is getting serious now and she's not playing, right?
Why don't you worry about you and your legal affairs? Worry about you and if you're able to pass a drug test. Do y'all think she can pass a drug test? Probably not.
Marlo is like, well, your husband is in technology. I don't feel it was, of course, it was a shade, but I didn't think it was that much so of a shade. So whenever I saw that Ralph texted Marlo to tell her to basically keep his name out her mouth, I thought that was extra. I'm not gonna lie. I understand Drew went and told her husband all the back and forth that she had with Marlo, but yeah, it was a little shade she sent toward Ralph, but it wasn't that much that I think that Ralph needed to text her. I felt like worst thing has been told to husband and they stayed out of it. I also do feel like Ralph is texting Marlo because Ralph likes attention. If Ralph could be a housewife of his own, he would be. I don't like the fact that he did it for the simple reason that I felt like his wife could have defended him, and Marlo does not have a husband to defend her in front of Ralph, right? So yeah, I didn't like the fact that Ralph texted Marlo to say to keep his name out of her mouth. I thought that was extra. I thought he did it for attention. I thought that Drew had it. So yeah, they're doing everything that they're doing, and then some the Portuguese come and dance, and they dance with them, and it is the end of the trip. I felt that this episode dragged, like it was so long, and it's like, is it because it's so boring? Like y'all had that episode last 50 minutes, and it was 50 minutes of nothing, talking about previous year drama. It was even worse because Kandi wasn't there. I don't care about Drew and Marlo fighting. I don't care about Drew kissing Latoya. I don't care. Like those lady ain't got nothing to do. Sheree crying at some point when the lady were fighting, talking about she's in shame and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, because your trip is a hot mess. And yeah, Nini was right when she said the house that she built is crumbling down. It is crumbling down. It's bad. It's so bad. And Sheree, you're the OG. You were supposed to be the one holding the candle and all that, but Sheree was crying for that paycheck she's probably not gonna have next season. I think that's why Sheree was crying. I ain't gonna lie. Sheree was not crying because y'all both fighting. She's crying because you ain't got nothing going on in this trip. It is not even fun. And she knows she's about to lose a paycheck. I'd cry too. But yeah, y'all, that was it for this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I thought it was pretty bad. They showed her a little trailer for the next episode, and we see Cynthia Bailey coming. Still didn't care. Let me know what you think in the comment. And for those of you that are new, hey, welcome. And I invite you to, And for those of you that have been here with me, supporting me, thank you all so much. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.